You guys, what's up? I'm back. Today I got an interesting story for you. As you guys may have read in the title, running from the cops. This story happened a while ago before I turned 18. I don't advise any of you guys to run from the cops. If you're in a situation like this, just stop and talk to them, let them know what you're doing. We weren't doing anything bad, but me being the dumbass I am and the friends I hung out with, and certain ones that I still hang out with, we just, for some reason, thought it would have been a good idea. So the story starts out at my buddy's house, and we're gonna give him a name. We're gonna call him Chad. So me, Chad, and like 4 or 5 other people were hanging out at Chad's house, and we decided that we were going to get some weed and smoke. So we turned around and finally got a hold of somebody, and we finally smoked after about 2 hours. Well, it was my buddy's birthday, so we were all just sitting around in the yard having fun, and this is really late at night, you guys. I forgot to mention that. This is at like 10:30 at night. But we're all out in the backyard playing catch with a football, and his parents weren't home, so we were just kind of doing whatever the fuck we wanted. Well, turned around, and after we get all nice and high, we're just running around playing catch, and this is one of the best parts of the story I can remember, the clearest. So me and Chad were fucking around out in the yard, and one of my other buddies was all the way down across to the other end of his yard, and he doesn't have that big of a yard. But we turned around, and we didn't have a lighter out there or nothing, so we're playing in the fucking pitch black. Well, turned around, and all of a sudden I see him look up behind him, and a fucking football whizzed by his head about a good 2 inches away from his ear. And all I remember is he started to flip on this fucking kid. And the entire time, like, he's laughing about it. My buddy that was yelling at him was actually laughing at him while he's yelling at him. So, like, we were all just joking around, having a good time. Well, about an hour goes by, we smoke a little bit more, and we turn around, and we got bored from everything that we had to do there. So, we all decided we were going to go play Manhunt. Well, near where I live and where he lives, near the school, there is a bunch of football fields and stuff, so that way all the kids in the lower grades down in the elementary school, and pretty much anybody that plays a sport goes over there and practices all the time. Like, that's where they normally have all their setup. So we turn around, we go over there, and we all decide that we're playing Manhunt. So we go back to the road as far as we can and turn right into the parking lot. And keep in mind, this is back a while ago. I used to play baseball for 3 years. We were right at the exact field where I played all the time. So I knew the in and outs of everything around it. The concession stand was right next to it in the whole 9 yards. Now, we weren't going in and vandalizing anything or tearing anything up. We were all just running around trying to hide from each other, having a fun time. Well, right next to all the baseball fields and stuff, there is a decent row of houses. And they all got motion sensor lights and the whole 9 yards for security. So, one of the dumbasses I was hanging out with at the time, which I don't anymore, I actually don't even like the kid, he ran around to the 1 yard and tripped the motion sensor light. Well, about that time, one of their dogs started to bark, and he's just sitting there fucking around, messing with the dog, barking back, being a complete fucking moron. And he was one of the sober ones. That right there just shows how stupid he was. But we're running around for about 45 minutes, about an hour, and a few of us actually quit because we got tired of running around. But I ended up jumping back in and starting to play another round with some of these kids, and my cousin and one of his friends actually sat in the dugout and pretty much just kind of quit, like entirely. Well, all of a sudden we see headlights pulling up, and it was like we all seen them at once, and we looked up at the exact same time, and we all just had the same instinct: run. Well, my buddy, or my cousin and his friend, just kind of stayed in the dugout and waited to see where the lights were. Well, we're all running down across the fucking field, and we got probably about a good 500-600 yards of a run till we get to the main road to run into the actual town. And there's an OIP where I live. Well, we turned around, ran into town, and we get a call from my buddy saying, "Listen, guys, it's a cop. He pulled us over, or he stopped in and asked what we were doing. We told him we were just playing Manhunt, and he wanted to talk to us. He said, meet us at OIP, and don't run from him. He just wants to talk to us, find out who we are, and pretty much say good day, or have a great day, and pretty much leave." So we all meet up with him back at OIP. Well, this entire time I had a good 2-3 grams in my pocket, and I was not about to get caught. So I turn around. Behind OIP, there's like a tiny path to go in behind the building, and then there's a row of trees. And they're not big trees, maybe 5 foot tall, just kind of shrubs, pretty much. Well, I dug a spot in the leaves underneath of it and hid my fucking bag, and I covered it up. And luckily the cameras or nothing weren't on, or at least facing us, or they just didn't care enough to look at it. But we turned around, and the cops showed up. Well, a few of our buddies that was with us ditched because they got in trouble with the cops before. They didn't need a third strike because that would have really fucked them over. So they just bolted like a bunch of dumbasses, which we actually got yelled at for that by the cop, but he was actually a fairly nice guy. But anyhow, we turn around, and my cousin, his buddy, and the cop pulls up at OIP. So we all walk out around the building and stand there. Well, he comes over, and all he really asked us was, "Hey guys, what's up?" Asked us who we were and how old we were and all that kind of stuff. And we told him, and we got in trouble because we were out past curfew because it's like 11 o'clock where I live, which is kind of a bunch of bullshit, but it's understandable. But turned around, he didn't really do nothing to us, never checked us or nothing, just kind of said, "Listen guys, you can't be back there past curfew. You can't be back there without, or past school hours anyway." So we all just kind of took the loss. We're like, all right. And we kind of went on with our day. Well, we all jump back in the car. He pulls away, and we leave. And it hit me. I'm like, oh, fuck, I left my weed there. Well, my buddies just kind of looked at me like, "Dude, fuck it. You lost it. End of story." And we just kind of went back to his house. Well, the next day, I had my cousin pick me up. So we turned around, and I told her, "Hey, can we stop at OIP?" So she stopped at OIP, not knowing what I was doing. Well, she gave me a weird look when I ran out behind the building. And I'm looking for this for about 5 minutes. Finally found it, about 10 feet away from where I was looking. And, turned around, get back in the car, she goes, "What'd you have to hide?" And I told her. And she just kind of bowed her head and looked at me like I was a fucking moron, which I was pretty stupid. But, I got my stuff, smoked it, and kind of got free with cops. I only talked to like 4 or 5 people out of that group anymore. I think only 2 or 3 of them are only my really good friends. But, yeah, we all went back to Chad's house afterwards and just finished the night out, played games. We jumped on Xbox for a little while. I think we played GTA 5 or GTA 4, I forget. I think it was GTA 4. But, just pretty much played that till we all passed out, and then the next day we woke up and just had a bunch of fun. Alright guys, that'll be it for this video. Hope you guys liked it. Peace.